fight with Corey. It was
Oh,
really, really awesome.
thank you. I should say the same to you. I mean, we both had a little bit of a tough fight on our hands. I think maybe you had a little easier than I did. I'm sore. Boy, it was definitely extreme.
Yeah, yeah. And also Corey is a fresh guy. I think he's like not more than 4 years in the sport. So
Yeah,
I think he has very, very big potential in the future.
yeah,
But he's already like at the level, and couple years of experience, it will be the bomb.
right. Yeah, no, his hand and wrist are amazing. Um, yeah, and his arm's starting to catch up. Well, yeah, everything about him is amazing. So, yeah, definitely for sure the future of the heavyweight division for the U.S. anyway.
So, guys, just to let you know, first of all, good to see you, John. We are live right now. It's time to go live, so we are officially live. So, John, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on your win. It was amazing.
Thank you.
I'd like to know maybe your afterthoughts of the fight. So, your feelings after the match. Is your arm still sore from the fight?
Oh, arm is sore. Yeah, side of my arm, he drugged so hard off the go that it was questionable whether or not the upper arm through here was going to hold up. Shoulder is definitely sore, but my shoulder always gets sore when I have a hard pull. My hand was very sore, like the pad through my thumb here. I think a couple times when I tried a top roll, when he just kind of crushed onto my hand, it kind of put a little bit of a torque into my thumb. So yeah, there's a few areas that I'm definitely sore. I kidded with Ingen. I says, yeah, I'm not. No training from here till I pull on Garbayev. It's just going to be all jacuzzis and ice and rehab. no time to train. It's just going to have to try to fix the damage that Corey caused.
Yeah, it's actually amazing because Engen in today's live with the Hermes was speaking about your arm. So in the 40 plus years of arm wrestling that you have done, you face so many strong opponents, so strong pressures from Cliff Dean, Richard Lopkes, from Jerry Goodrich, from Denis Siplankov, Alexei Vovoda, all the strongest arm wrestle tried to break your arm, but you're still here at 50.
I haven't broke it yet.
Broken.
Yeah. Yeah, knock on wood. Knock on wood. Things are holding together for me fairly well, and I definitely put it to the test this last Saturday. I put myself in some uncomfortable situations or redlined myself that I haven't done in a really, really long time. So there was no cushion for error. It was all hanging out there.
I actually have a question because Isa says about a couple of big names in arm wrestling, and what was the strongest guys, like for example top 5, which you pull with, and it was like a really, really tough match, like I don't know, probably with Dennis and.
Yeah, Dennis obviously super strong. I mean, I would consider Dennis someone that had probably obviously the strongest bicep, the strongest defensive just hook, lock. Richard Lupke's very awkward, strong weightlifting type strength. So you had to be really careful with him because he could hit you in directions that most great arm wrestlers wouldn't hit you just because of his weightlifting background. So he was very awkward. Alexei, he had kind of the strengths that I did. Really strong hand, really great pronator, hand and wrist control. maybe not so much super strong on the arm, but he didn't need to be. I mean, he could kind of take your power away from you based on just his hand strength. Yeah, I mean, and then if we want to go way back, Cleve Dean was, kind of like the Lavon of the 80s. He was just super strong, but more than anything, just super big. I mean, just really difficult to even get around. I mean, to be able to arm wrestle at your full strength because he was such a large human being.
John, so sorry for 1 second for interrupting. The chat is saying that your volume is very, very low. Maybe it's something wrong with the mic because they can't barely hear you.
I have no idea or ability to control.
Maybe if you try to unplug the earbud from the, might be better.
Well, that would be just, I wouldn't be able to hear you then.
Okay.
How's this? Hello.
Oh, that's way better. Okay, try to keep that thing.
I'll hold the microphone like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now it's
Okay,
absolutely
keep it as close as possible, John. I'm sorry to ask you, but if you can
Okay.
keep it as
Yeah,
close as
let me
possible.
let me see. I mean, I should learn how to do some of this stuff. Is there like an audio thing? Oh, there's a mute button. You guys don't want me to mute
No, no,
it, right?
it's you basically have to change the sensitivity, but it would
Okay.
just the easiest thing would be try to hold the microphone closer.
Okay.
And by
Yeah,
the way, props to you, John, at
I think
58,
the
try to
sensitivity
learn.
thing was probably a setup that I needed to do before I got on board, right? All right. All right, we'll hold the mic.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Sorry for interrupting, John.
No, yeah, no worries.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and also just a quick side note, props to you, John, because you're at 58, you came into this YouTube game and you're trying to improve yourself and learning so many things. You got the iPhone and the Mac and trying to editing. So thank
Right.
you so much for doing this for the community.
Yeah,
And John, I
thanks.
wanted to ask you, first of all, people are super chatting like crazy. So I'm gonna be like jumping all over the place trying to make everybody happy. But somebody was asking, is it true that your heritage is Polish?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're
My
from Poland.
Yeah, yeah. My dad's father was Polish, so yeah. I'm actually I think my mother's side was Latvia or Lithuanian. My dad's dad was Polish, and then on my mother's side they were both German. So I'm more German probably than anything, but the name is Polish. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
a
Okay,
little
okay.
Polish in me.
So the greatest arm wrestler of all time is actually not American but European. So plus one for you.
Yeah, if we go far enough back, yes, that would
Just
be
teasing,
correct.
just teasing, just teasing. So John, maybe you have spoken about it for 20 times already, but just wanted to quickly ask you your thoughts about Devon and Levan, but also Alex and Corey, because you fought with Corey and we have here Alex. So what better way to, ask you?
Right. Um, Yeah, okay. Well, I'll comment on Lavon and Devon first. I think it's kind of what most people thought would happen. I mean, a lot of people think that it was a huge blowout, which on the surface it looks like a huge blowout. But I mean, I think Devon probably hurt his arm in the second round. Uh, but to me it looked like Devon possibly almost barely had a stick there in the first match, and that's what everybody was just basically hoping for. I mean, that match would stop at some point, even if it was just a hair off the pad, and Devon could make it an endurance game at all. And Lavon obviously could push through it and not make it that way. So it looked very, very dominant on Lavon's side, obviously. Yeah, Devin couldn't even really continue to try to wear Lavon down because, like I said, it looked like he switched gears and went to a completely different move that I don't think he probably had any plan on doing with Lavon, just because his outside was damaged. I think he tore his bicep a little bit, but yeah, I'm sure he's a little disappointed. But yeah, in my eyes, from just watching it, I thought, it could have. It was. There was still a chance there. There was still a glimmer of hope that Devin could have really, I think it was closer than a lot of people actually, saw. I mean, what they witnessed. But yeah, Alex and Corey, I didn't know, quite honest, what to expect. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy into all the hype on how much stronger Corey got. He kind of gave us a little bit of evidence of the fact that was possibly true, the way he blew through Krasimir. So I was thinking, oh yeah, I mean, this might be interesting. And well, Alex, you know how strong his hand and wrist are. I mean, you got a tremendous leverage advantage over most arm wrestlers, and your top row is going to work. Whether you like it or not, just because you have such great height, and if you can just get a little bit of wrist flexion, you can put that drain on most opponents. But yeah, I thought I was super excited. I thought, wow, Corey shut you down the first match, with your attempt to top roll, and he actually had the arm strength to drag you to the pad and a hook, and I thought, wow, this could go Corey's way, and then you just basically wore him down with repeated pressure on the hand and wrist.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I looked at it and I thought, oh man, if Corey would just a little more experience and a little bit more being in that situation, I think he hurt himself by trying to control you so much without the strap and the fouls and the repeat. I think it really damaged his chances to make it a little closer match. But I mean, you did everything right. I mean, I don't know. Did you feel like you could even pull with him inside? You stayed outside the whole time, so
Yes, definitely. In the first round, like I just check what can be, and after that, I think it's better to go absolutely
keep going
outside.
Keep going outside. Yeah, I know you kept working them. I went away from our match this last Saturday thinking to myself now, because I think I'm pretty well back to pretty decent form. Where in my mind now, the next time I pull Corey, I would be attacking just completely into hook. And I'm not that great anymore in a hook, but I feel like he's mentally messed with me enough where I don't feel like the move for me personally against Corey is to try to top roll him anymore. he put so much pain on my hand and thumb and really basically took me out of position. More than I probably should have been if I would have committed to a center hook by trying to top roll. So yeah, he's definitely left a big impression on me. Like, nope, that boy's not top rollable anymore for me. So, and it'll be interesting to see him against some of the guys that are really, super one-dimensional like that are just strictly great top rollers. I would love to see almost Corey now in maybe a little bit better form in a few more months to pull someone like Hermes, who is, I don't know really how great Hermes is in a hook, but, he relies on that top roll so much, and I think Corey is kind of the guy that might be able to, shut that down. So to me, there's
honestly, absolutely also interested in this type of match because Corey actually has a very long forearm,
and
for top rollers,
he protects it well. He keeps his knuckles high, and he's got
really And sometimes, for example, for guys who feel advantages in the size of forearms and goes like by higher, it will be just that Corey can cover this height and be even higher. And he
has the strength. He has that crushing wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there's some great matches I think for Corey in the definite future. So, he's definitely arrived. I think people are taking notice. So we'll probably see a lot more of him now in the future.
And now he's much more experienced. I think these two matches give him a lot. Really a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but it's still he's got the great personality, great approach. He's going into the matches relaxed. He's not putting a lot of pressure on himself. But I think he needs to be kind of cheated like that a few times before he really understands. Like, I'm not gonna let myself get in that position again. I'm gonna it's smoother sailing by doing it this way and that way, and I don't need to really prove to everybody that I'm really what my best move is. So he'll definitely get seasoned as time goes by.
Yeah. And also, by the way, Neil Pickup is in the live, and he's saying, "Impressive as always, John. Not bad for an older guy, mate."
Thank you.
Anyone would think you were kind of good at arm wrestling. So our best right. Neil Pickup is one of the greatest guys in arm wrestling. Our dearest wishes. Okay, so John, a couple super chats. First of all, from Wild Frame saying, "John, amazing performance against Corey." It's awesome. And thanks for putting this together, guys. John, is it true that you started working for the airlines to get cheaper free flights to and 4 matches?
Yeah, it definitely played a part in my career choice out of high school. I'd been arm wrestling probably just a year or two my senior year, and a little bit after high school. So, out of high school, I decided, well, what am I going to do with my life besides this sport of arm wrestling? And a buddy of mine, my best friend from high school, was going to A&P school at the time. So I kind of learned of that job in that field, and he became a pilot for Delta Airlines also, but at the time he couldn't major in piloting, so he was getting his A&P. So I kind of followed in his footsteps because I thought, that would be really cool to be able to have that kind of benefit, to be able to travel the world without having it cost me an arm and a leg. And I wasn't really super mechanically inclined, but it's been a good career. I've enjoyed it. It's definitely a variety of things always being thrown at you with this, that, and the other. So it's been good.
Also, Michael Monster Todd is in the chat saying, "Hey guys, I was just about to call you, John. Got a little promo coming out that just might be kind of cool. So our best wishes to Monster Michael Todd and congratulations also on his win."
Yeah.
On that note, what do you think about Todd versus Todd?
It kind of went the way most people thought and the way I kind of figured it would go. Michael impressed me with his ability to pull Todd further away from his arm than I thought he would. I thought Todd was going to be able to keep it a little tighter and closer the way he's been pulling lately. Hutchins has been so strong, looking so dominant against really great top rollers, and just basically just creaming him with just sheer side pressure and power. So I felt like he could probably keep it on his side of the table a little bit better than he did. So kudos to Mike to be able to really, stretch him out and get him where he couldn't really apply a tremendous amount of side pressure. But yeah, I could have went either way. I think Mike just played his cards perfectly. I mean, he wore him down and then switched gears. Got him softened up a little bit, and then decided to go with the shoulder roll. So that's definitely a seasoned move. He knew that Mr. Hutchins is yes, he's extremely strong in a hook and when he's dragging sideways, but his bicep isn't Denis Saplinkov. He doesn't have the ability to really catch somebody that's really coming hard straight down on his arm.
Yeah. It was true, like a game of chess. Everything was calculated.
Yeah, it pays to do a little bit of research on your opponent. I mean, some people probably think it doesn't matter. They feel like they're just going in and going to be who they are, and that's for the most part that works. But then again, it's nice to know that your opponent has a chink in their armor, and they're a little weak in certain areas if you have to test it.
Yeah. Also, Michael is saying nothing compared to the effort that you put in by the God that John. So thank you, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, definitely Michael looked smooth. He looked like he was breathing well and in complete control. Yeah, for sure. Michael Todd is definitely in probably twice the cardio, or I should say probably 10 times the cardio conditioning that I currently am in. I do zero cardio, so I'm wishing as I'm breathing hard to just please don't have a heart attack. I'm pushing myself that hard. I really do need to start doing some cardio to get the whole heart strengthened up because yeah.
So basically, we just missed Devon Leverett in the chat, and then we have everybody. We have a very quick chat from a guy who's asking, "John, I love you so much. I have a question. What is more important, side pressure or internal rotation?" And after that quick super chat, I want to ask you, both of you guys, because John, you got quite a surge of confidence now. What are your thoughts about your upcoming match with Kirigalian Garbayev? Also, Alex, you can answer that.
Okay. Well, it's like saying, well, I don't know if anything is any more important than the other. It just depends on where you want to take the match. I mean, and who your opponent is. I mean, sometimes you can't you can't do your best move, and it's nice to have the pronation. It's nice to have the supination. It's nice to have the side pressure. It's definitely nice. I mean, and I don't train it very much myself personally either, but it's nice to have that press if you need to call on it if the situation is right where both you feel like you feel like your opponent's pretty wore down and it's a fresh move. So everything at some point in time against different competitors is important, right? So I mean, I'm as lazy as the next guy. Yeah, I always want to hear the secret. I only want to exercise one or two things, and what are the best exercises to do? Because I don't want to do anything else other than my 5 minutes of exercise. Well, you're going to get yourself in trouble if that's the type of person you are. So, yeah, you need to work. You need to work all the areas. I mean, arm wrestling doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. You could probably pull off a really good hard workout practice in an hour and a half, and limit it to once a week. So it doesn't require a ton of effort, but you have to make an effort to try to do some things that aren't your normal bread and butter, the stuff that you feel like you're the best at, and work all the different areas.
Mhm.
I'm talking too much. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah.
I'll eat some
And
of my salad here.
Yeah, it's absolutely because it's question for you. For me, I need to say that I'm really so excited that I'm speak with you. It's like our first interview, yeah, and
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to remember. Were you in China? I don't remember seeing you pull in China. You became an alternate with the PAL, or were you there in China? I just don't remember hanging out with you.
with PAL we like pull in top 8, yeah, and it was
Top 8.
postponed. That yeah,
Yeah, no,
so
but the year that I was there, invited when Garbayev pulled Lavon. Were you a part of
it was
that group of
probably in
8?
China, yeah, it was China,
China.
yes.
Yeah, you
So
weren't
it
there.
was 2019 or 18, I don't
Right.
sure. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Were you there or you weren't there?
I pulled there. I've been there, and the pool is on Garbayev because China. No, China. I pull with Trubin. Yeah,
Trubin. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
remember. We didn't speak very much then because my memory
Yes,
was bad. I
yes,
was like,
yes.
I
But
don't, I don't
what
remember if Alex was there.
yes, yes, truly. So what I wanted to say that it's so excited to speak with you because like I always say it so many times that some early first video which I was watching about Hermes was with you, with you, with
Oh,
Crazy
okay.
George,
Right.
Richard Lapkis, and
Right.
it's
Right. Right.
like
Right.
you watch the TV hero, and after that you have possibility to speak with your hero. So it's
Right. That's
so
a
cool
pleasure.
and so excited. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Well, we've actually met a few times, and like I said, again in Moldova, we didn't speak much. I think you were
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
a newcomer to the sport, and you were very kind of just
yeah. We sometimes
in
concentrate.
the groove, right? You didn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You weren't in a relaxed mode to be chatting with foreigners, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
Isa asked about my thoughts about you and Garbayev.
Mhm.
It's like for me, a lot of changes was happened after my match with Garbayev. I know that he like young like athlete, but he's very experienced about how many years he in the sport. But for me, like your level, it's one of the highest level of table IQ, and also like level of your availability to pull and hook and top roll and side and everything. Like that
Hmm.
you are very good in technique. And I think that if it will be in the straps, which I expected, it can be a little bit difficult for Garbayev to pull with you in the straps inside. So
Okay.
I think and I believe that he will be doing everything to go outside, and if it's not works, it will be challenge for him to pull with you.
Right.
So if you control like him in the straps, I think it will be your match. And I know that he will try everything for outside, but I don't know about his shape.
Right.
Like I know that he don't pull like now in a lot of competitions, and
Right.
it will be the answer. Actually, it will be the answer of his shape because
Right.
in the top 8 he was in a actually
Good
in a
shape.
great shape.
Yeah.
But
Very good shape.
now I'm not sure that he's come back in that level. Or
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. No, I expect a hard outside move. I mean, all the matches I've watched with him, he's definitely he has that hand integrity to really pull with full force and have his hand withstand that Cobra style dragging, and it's works against even Prudnik. So it's pretty amazing. And the other thing that worries me is just the youth and the speed that he has. I mean, he hits so hard that I'm thinking, I hope I don't. I'm probably going to go in with the mindset of just going into a protective position. I'm not going to try to match that hand and match that hit. So yeah, if I can lock it down and kind of somewhat protect myself from that top roll, I feel like I'm as strong as anybody right now as far as side pressure goes. And if it, I would be pleased, I think, with him if
Mhm.
it fell into a hook. I don't know if I would outlast him because he also looks like he has probably pretty decent endurance. He's kind of like Devon, where he can get really wound in there good. But that would be exciting for me. I just don't want to. I don't want to get flashed. So that's my worry.
I want to ask you, for example, your level of power today, and what was the year when you feel like the strongest shape of your life?
Pure, strong, just steady, slow power. Probably the teens, the 13s, 14. It's kind of hard because I've kind of gone through some rough spells. I mean, I had back surgery in 2008 that kind of set me back. Didn't affect my arm wrestling nearly as much as the shoulder surgery, which I think was in 2011. So, I mean, you probably have to go back almost 7, 8 years to compare the 2000, early 2000, 2005 guy versus the 2014-15 guy that, you know, got over the shoulder surgery 3, 4 years later. And it really, the shoulder never was the same after the surgery. But I think I'm stronger in like a weightlifting type of strength. I can probably, if it's a slow pull, I can pull just as well as I did in my younger years. I just think that I was so much more effective at beating stronger arm wrestlers when I was a little younger, just because I had that explosivity where I could really unleash an actual punch on somebody and actually hit and get that momentum going to the pad. Now I struggle just to, my mindset is to just hold, not to actually move towards the pad anymore. And it's just, it's a nervous lack of ability of the nervous system, I think, more than it's a lack of strength. But anyway.
And John, I have to say, it's been so good seeing you back. Also, big props to Engen for organizing East versus West, because like 60-70% of the competition we have seen since your comeback was against European, all been in East versus West. And it's so good to have like seen you compete so much again, and that you are actually back in the sport. So I just want to ask, how is your comeback in the sport? What are your feelings? Are you planning to stay for hopefully longer?
Yeah, there's no reason. The reason I stopped in 2015 is because my shoulder was getting to the point where it was really difficult for me to sleep, and I just felt like, there was really not a lot going on at kind of the peak of the WAL, and I just figured it was time. But after the 3-4 years of rest, or it's almost been 5 years of rest, and the shoulder really didn't get much better with just leaving it alone. And speaking with other doctors and saying that they basically told me that you're not going to injure it anymore. You're not going to make it any worse. It is what it is. It's arthritis, and if you can pull through the being uncomfortable, you're going to be fine. It's just going to cause you a little bit of discomfort. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's going to be some degradation of my abilities as I reach 60 and beyond. I don't expect to be pulling into my 60s or mid 60s or 70s. So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, but who knows? I mean, I kind of go up and down at times. I think to myself, okay, why am I continuing to do this? But I'm having fun right now. It's nice because there's new competitors out there, and it's nice to test myself against a lot of the new young guys, but once that's done, I'll question myself. Like, okay, maybe I'll take off for 3-4 years and come back and see who's who in 3 or 4 years. But hopefully things keep progressing the way they are with sponsors and the exposure and the social media and stuff like that. It's really exciting to be able to get the matches out there where people can enjoy them. I mean.
Yeah. Also, we got a few super chats. John, you sound much better today than the Monday Night Live last night. Feeling good. And then we have another.
I still have this shit going on in my lungs. It'll eventually go away, hopefully.
And another super chat is, John, you seem re-motivated after this hard match against Corey.
I've been motivated almost a full year now. So is it been? I think it was last June when I decided to say yes to Chant Shaw. So I think I'm back on the horse right now. I think I'm maybe not quite what I used to be, but I'm pretty good shape right now. I mean, I'm pretty happy with my progress over the last year. It's been good, and knock on wood, I haven't heard anything yet, seriously. So
yeah, indeed, John, you won over the top at age 18. Now you're approaching your 60s. If you, when you're 68, you will do a comeback. It's going to be half century of dominance from John Brzenk. It's going to
So
amazing.
yeah.
Something like this never happened in any other sport, and it's just truly remarkable. And you've done so many competitions against Chen Shaw, Paul Lin, the other Russian guy, and all the Europe. Like you compete so
Pablo Dereventio. Yeah, a lot of names.
Dimitri Kachan and all the other guys. It's nuts. It's nuts. John, wanted to ask you, how is your training looks like these days? Are you practicing? Are you doing some weightlifting, God forbid?
Um, I'm still just basically training with Dustin Allen. Occasionally Eric Wolf will come over, but to be quite honest, my super matches have been so close together that I really maybe have a week or two of rehab type light stuff and maybe one or two pulling sessions before I'm actually thinking about resting for the next super match. So what's kept me in shape and sharpened me up a little bit more than anything is just the amount of super matches I've had. It'd be nice to maybe have a little break where I could go hard 2-3 months straight without thinking about resting and being at peak performance for a super match. But I don't think that's in the cards either for me. I think I've got this August and maybe October, November, December. I think I've got matches all already scheduled for. I think maybe I have September where I can do something. Hopefully, nobody will call me or challenge me or ask me to do a super match.
Yeah, you have your next super chat in less than a month. Another super chat is asking, how was John able to overcome his shoulder injury?
Well, I've told this story a bunch of times. My shoulder injury really didn't come from arm wrestling. I actually tore my labrum, threw my shoulder out by throwing a softball when I was 20, 21 years old. And it kind of knocked me back for about a year. It's hard to remember that time frame, but I was really dominant and over the top and leading up until that injury. And I elected not to go have it looked at. I just kind of fought through it and let it kind of heal on its own, or what I thought was healing on its own. It was basically completely tore other than the bicep tendon. But I just lived with it. I lived with it for 20 plus years, and it got to the point where I just felt like there was something messed up, or it was causing a lot of inflammation and discomfort every time I arm wrestled. So I went and had it looked at, had a couple of different doctors look at it, and they did the MRI and said, oh yeah, no, your labrum's, tore out. And so I'd elected to, thinking that it would fix it, have it detached, because it had a ton of scar tissue in it. And then they anchored it down with 6 anchors. So they basically cleaned it all up, cleaned all the scar tissue out. And long story short, a couple years later, I'm still having the same issues, and I went to other shoulder specialists, and they said, well, based just on the x-rays, we can see that you just got a shit ton of arthritis. You just got old man shoulders, and you're going to, and one in particular doctor said to me, he says, you probably shouldn't have had that labrum done. I bet you didn't get any relief from doing that. And I was like, no, I didn't. But yeah, he thought that yes, the many years of all that scar tissue buildup was probably more stable than going in there and cleaning it up and trying to reattach it. But anyway, so yeah, I don't even remember what the super chat question was, but shoulder surgery. So shoulder was based on me screwing my arm up, throwing a damn softball. Didn't have anything really to do with arm wrestling. Arm wrestling obviously aggravated it, but. That's my shoulder story.
Yeah. I understand. Guys, by the way, if you're watching, don't forget to like the video, please. So, John, this is a question I want to ask you. If you could choose anybody you'd like to pull after assuming you win against Kidir Gali, who would that be? And the second question would be, would prime John Brzenk, consider whatever version you think it was, could he compete with today giants like Alex, Hermes, Devon, Vitali, not Devon, sorry, Lavon, Vitali, etc.?
Definitely yes. What a question.
Whether or not I want to,
I mean,
I told myself that I wasn't going to go against the super heavyweights, and I've been up until just this last weekend pulling Corey and then watching Corey did with you, my confidence has been pretty much in the toilet as far as having any aspirations to pull super heavyweights. But I'm starting to kind of believe in myself, like maybe I can still pull with some of these heavyweights. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I would love to have a match with you, Alex. I'm curious now. I think you would definitely control the match outside with your top roll and that. But yeah, I feel like, well, if I can get him inside, Corey was able to pull him down. Maybe I could pull him down. You know, so
it will be honor for me. I will not care about results. Just enjoy the pull.
So yeah, I mean. Vitality, does that sound good to me? No. Lavon, definitely no. That would just be I mean, I would love to train with Lavon. I would love to be in Dubai when he's there at some point and just be able to really understand all the angles that he has and his abilities. That would be you know, a lot of fun for me. But yeah, I mean, if the offers come and I feel like I even have a 100-to-1 chance, I'm probably going to say yes to some of the super heavyweights in the future. I feel like my you know, my ability is good enough to, you know, ask, you know, raise the question. There's a chance maybe he could do it, you know. So, and if there's a chance, then I would say yes. But so to answer your question, a few of the guys are definite no, just because I think it would be not fair for the public, the spectator. They would be cheated of their of their money because you're just if I personally felt like there was no chance, it doesn't make any sense for me to go into battle like that. But if I felt like there was a possibility or a chance for me, then I would say yes.
Yeah, indeed. And also thank you for answering the John versus Alex match, because so many super chats were asking, how about Alex and John? Could you do the rematch? John beat Corey, so maybe they can do it together. It's everybody.
Yeah.
So
it'd be interesting. I mean, I pulled some guys that have been as big as you, Alex, and I know how it feels. It's very awkward to set up straight hand to hand, but in the past, what's always worked for me is I've had enough hands and lat and kind of that Garbayev drag down that I've been able to pull taller guys into kind of my zone. But I don't know if I'm capable of doing that anymore. It'd be interesting to see.
I actually remember that you like pull with great top rollers like Tarasi Vakin, you hold him.
Yeah,
like
but
this,
they're more my they were more my size. I mean, yeah, your arm is so much higher that it would be really difficult to work your hand. But
yeah, in the past you did, for example, against Alav Kariev, Zaur, that was an incredible monster. Also the Georgian.
Also Cliff Dean, because John, you pull with Cliff Dean, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that was my approach with Cleve. Just grab him on the wrist and just force him into a hook. You know, people thought I was crazy. Like, you can't dad's move someone that big, but that was the only thing that worked at the time. You know, it's like that's what I have to do. There's no, I mean, it just until you feel someone that size and with that size of a hand, and I just felt you would feel helpless if you grabbed them hand to hand. So you had to figure something out, and as awkward and weird as it was to dads move them around the wrist, that's the only thing that seemed to work.
Yeah. Is it true that Cleve actually even like don't train especially for arm wrestling, just do something else and he was strong?
Yeah, I don't know how much much table time he had. I mean, he lived in Georgia where there was a lot of great arm wrestlers that he could train with, but I don't know how many people were really eager to be pulling with Cleve on a regular basis. I mean, but I don't know what his experience was. But he traveled quite a bit. I mean, so he got some table time when he went to tournaments for sure. But
yeah,
definitely a unique individual. I mean, we haven't seen anybody like him since. I mean, Lavon, yes, is a big guy, but not the same bone structure and size that Cleve was.
Yeah. Now, like a lot of guys speak about Corey. Corey is big, but compared to Cleve, it's even like I don't know, 200 pounds bigger probably.
Right. Yeah. Cleve has twice the hand size that Corey does. I mean, I almost classify Corey. Corey, you know, obviously he's larger than Dennis, but gripping up with his hand, it's more like Tim Bresnan or even a Dennis, where it's just thick but not really engulfing. Cleaves you grabbed and it's like what so engulfing, like your hand was in just the palm, like you didn't even get anywhere near the fingers to even be able to try to topple the fingers. So different, completely different.
So just quickly, John, we have so many super chats, so if we can get rid of them, please quickly.
All right.
Just
There
quick.
you
Let's go. So does John think he limited by his full potential by not strengthening multiple vectors with weightlifting training like modern arm wrestlers?
Yeah, I believe that weightlifting doesn't translate nearly as well as a good group of strong arms. I've always believed and preached that the easiest, best, most efficient road to becoming a great, well-rounded arm wrestler is to arm wrestle a ton of really good arms. The weights are always going to be awkward and clumsy and not. They don't fight back. They don't change directions. So it's it's my opinion. I don't know. So I would disagree with the fact that I'm not as strong as I can be or as sharp as I could be because I didn't spend time talking to weights.
Yeah. So the next super chat is from Hari Venables, which is asking, what did John think about Michael Monster Todd versus Toddzilla, which we already answered. So just go back in the live and you can see it, buddy. Thank you for the super chat, though. Then the next question is, who is the original dead mover? Is it you, John, or is it Devon?
Oh, well, I did the dad move against Cleve, so I imagine that I was probably the first to do it, but just because I'm older.
Yeah.
But who's Devon used the dad move against?
Bortolato.
Bortolato.
Wagner.
Bortolato. Oh, okay, yeah. He didn't really need to, but yeah, it was probably just good fun.
Just to mock him.
Yeah.
And then we have the last super chat. This is the greatest name of the name of this guy is the soul of John Brzenk's microwave. This is his name.
The what?
The soul of John Brzenk's microwave.
Gotcha.
Like the microwave joke. Like you don't know, like the arm wrestling fan base is crazy. Yeah, it's like a big meme around John Brzenk microwave, like the lore of arm wrestling. So he's asking, being 5'6", 150 pounds, I'm perhaps not cut out for arm wrestling. That being said, what technique or exercises should I train to beat a larger guy?
Well, here again, back to my theory of just finding a group of good arm wrestlers and spending some time, some dedication on a weekly basis for a year, 2 years, 3 years of just arm wrestling is probably the best thing you can do to become a better arm wrestler. Weightlifters, it takes great weightlifters that lift tremendous amounts of weight the same amount of time to become good arm wrestlers. So for you to go and hide in the gym and do a bunch of weightlifting, I don't think is going to be the key to becoming a great arm wrestler. And by the way, 150 pounds, 5'6". I know a couple. I can't think of his name. The Romanian kid that's super great.
Sasha Andreev.
I'm not sure.
Sasha Andreev, maybe. Was it Bulgarian?
No, the little guy, Papayev or Papavic or I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, he kicked my butt day after day, lefty and righty, and he was probably 150 pounds soaking wet. So that's just not a limiting factor. I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah. So John, the next one, this question is for you. It's I always, when I think about you, I think about Muhammad Ali's quote, which he says, "My only regret is that I don't fully understand how great I am." So does John Brzenk truly know he's the GOAT? Like in your mind, is John Brzenk the GOAT? Like, do you know who you actually are in the arm wrestling world? Or you just like, I'm just arm wrestling?
Yeah, no, I don't believe that for a second. Social media has done that to me, and I don't know whoever started it. Neil Pickup started it, the ball rolling, and somebody ran with it, and now everybody's running with this GOAT thing. And Yeah, no, I'm just just an arm wrestler that's been around a very long time and has done and been able to arm wrestle at a very high level. But yeah, that's kind of a silly label. I don't like it.
So humble, so humble. Okay.
It's the answer of the legend. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like it should be.
Yes, yes. That's also what you do, Alex. You're very humble, you're very polite. So you're
Oh,
on a
thank you
good
so much.
road. So the next,
Where are you, Alex? Are you in Poland right now, or where
Yeah,
are you
in
located?
Warsaw, in Poland. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're in Warsaw. Okay. Are you coming out to the States anytime soon, or?
Yeah, actually, I will come to Canada in the end of August 26th, probably. And
Okay.
guys now writes to me to go to US, Houston, probably. I'm not sure. Like they only start, they like inviting me.
Oh, okay, right. And how long you plan on staying in the States?
Probably like 1 week, something like that.
Oh, only just a week. Okay. I thought maybe you were gonna do like a, travel with Michael Todd and on the
But
RV
maybe
tour or
yes,
something. There you go.
nothing is set already, and it's a lot of plans, and we need to put it together like in one general plan. But of course, I will be really happy to visit Michael, to visit you, to visit all like the guys
Okay.
because I know there is
Yeah.
a lot of
If
clubs
you're out
there.
west, you're always welcome. Yeah, anytime, knock on my door.
Well, we'll be very happy to go
All
there.
right. Yeah.
yeah. In which state are you, John? Arizona?
Phoenix, yeah. So it's actually Mesa, but we're just east of Phoenix, downtown Phoenix.
Okay, I understand. So we have a couple other super chats. This one is from Josh and is asking, why did John retire if he's so capable? We also kind of answered that before in
Yeah.
the live, so you can go there and see it. This is quite funny. He's asking, have you ever had an arm wrestling nickname? If not, what would you want it to be? I know you're the perfect storm. Somebody.
Yeah, in the early years, from over the top, they'd called me the Golden Boy. That's before I turned to the Gray Boy. Um,
Uh,
so yeah, I had the blonde hair, and I was called the Golden Boy. And then Neil Pickup here again. I think Neil Pickup's pretty much named everybody, right?
Yes,
that's true, definitely.
He labels you, and then you're stuck with whatever Neil come up with. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I don't have any cutesy names that I can think off the top of my head that would be appropriate. Besides the perfect storm, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Nathan, another super chat is just saying, how about we just say that John has the golden arm even at 58 years old of age? Indeed. So, John, what is and this is a very hard question because 40 plus years of arm wrestling, your proudest achievement, your single proudest achievement in the sport?
Uh, I have so many. Over the top was huge. I mean, I was just coming into the sport, maybe 2 years, 3 years, and it was such a bizarre, monstrous opportunity, and I was able to, you know, squeeze out this incredible, once in a lifetime win because of a, a major, film. So over the top definitely has to be up there. Um, Beating Denis Saplinkov, I'm on all the hype and the stuff that went around him and the scariness and of his abilities, and having that super match in Las Vegas that PAL organized. Definitely was a highlight, but even more so than that, I think probably the first time that I beat him at the Zloty Tour. I don't know which year it was right now.
2008.
2008, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they're all get blended together, but he had such a big, strong support group there, and the venue was just incredible. It was in some garage with a really low ceiling, and it was just standing room only, just jam packed. You could just feel the energy, and it just the place just erupted and was just so very. That left a huge impression on me. I was like, wow, it's really really cool. But yeah, those are probably the top two. But so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surviving this last Saturday is huge for me. I'm still happy that I'm still here. And
Yeah. So we have other couple super chats. So one is saying John is probably talking about Daniel Prokopchu, who Alex has also faced
There
in
you
the match. He's probably
Yes, probably.
there
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's who it is. I couldn't exactly remember his name. I just picture,
Yeah, yeah.
little
And
guy.
quickly, guys, you might be seeing each other in East versus West 4 in August. If Alex will work everything right, maybe he might be able to come there. So you guys might
Okay.
see each other there. So also
Right.
Prokopchu is going to be there, or maybe in February or November,
No,
maybe.
probably now. Now, probably.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's going to be a good gathering.
Yeah.
I don't remember with whom he pulled, but yeah, I remember that he he was on the list, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. And also Michael Todd with the super chat saying, awesome stuff, guys. Alex, you're welcome here anytime. We are going live at 7:30 p.m. So we gotta eat. Stay blessed. Michael is saying that.
Thank you, Michael, and best wishes.
Michael's back. Have you pulled Michael, Alex? Have you guys
Never,
got a chance
never.
to pull, even just screwing around, practice pull a little bit? No?
No,
So
I was
you
so
have-
interested when I was in Canada, but it was hard to go somewhere and come back, because we have like some planning like day after day.
Okay.
Yeah, but really we'll be happy to pull like in trainings and also like in competitions. And also Michael, I know that he planned something bigger in the next factory. I wish him success because I watched the show. It was amazing. Like the atmosphere, the commentating, everything was very great.
Yeah. He's definitely turning into the representative for the United States core sports, right? I mean, he's going to definitely be the future competition for those guys in Dubai because he's getting bigger and better, and he's collaborating with better and smarter people. So it's I think he's going places with his production.
Also, like here, a lot of other people. Everyone's like what was like how it was. It was on YouTube with a beautiful screen, like without any troubles with transmission with the stream. It was really cool and and really cool fights actually. Yeah. So
yeah. I even liked his commercials. I told him I said I thought that was really great the way he kind of brought the little snippets of commercials in there. That made it seem more authentic or more bigger than it maybe should be because it had some sponsors and I thought it was great. I thought he did a good job.
Absolutely agree.
And by the way, they are saying that Prokopchu is going against Corey Miller, so that's the guy who's going to face him. Yeah.
Great.
John, on that note, when you were talking about the Tseplenkov 2009, 2008 Zloty, one of your proudest moments, because also I remember that Dennis brought with him all his buddies from Russia, and you were kind of like a lone American, and when you won, you turned towards them and screamed, like, "What's up now?"
Like, yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, I want to ask you, so proudest achievement, perfect. What is your biggest regret in arm wrestling or a match that you didn't have the opportunity to take?
My biggest regret of a match that I didn't take.
Maybe a rematch with Vovoda or a Garbayev?
Well, I didn't have that choice. I mean, it was never proposed to me. I mean, I would have loved to been able to pull Alexei a couple 3 years later. There's been a few guys like that have beat me and then went on to bigger and better things. I mean, early in my career, there was a guy named Scott Norton who went to WWE, wrestling, and he beat me early when I was maybe 18, 19, and just never had a chance to pull him again. And I always thought, I wish I could, I don't like people beating me and then disappearing.
And going away. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. I don't know. I don't have any regrets like that. It'd be nice to pull Alexei again, but I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I mean, he didn't do any crazy in your face celebration to me that made me like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna get you one day. It's a very respectful guy, so I'm good. I'm pretty content. With my career. I don't have any standout regrets, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So for the next super chats, we have so many, it's crazy. Guys, by the way, if you haven't liked the video, please like and subscribe to Alex's channel. So Aussie Arm Wrestler is asking, John and Alex, when are you guys coming to the Down Under Australia? We need you guys here. Congrats on the channel, Alex.
Thank you for congratulations. And I think when you guys invite us,
Right,
we will go.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, Australia arm wrestling is big in its own right. I mean, they've got some really big big mouths, big names out there promoting the sport like crazy, and I suspect that at some point somebody's going to take notice, and uh, we can possibly do something big where
Mhm.
it makes sense to jump on an airplane and fly 24 hours in a coach seat and be miserable. But yeah, no, I'm ready to go back to Australia. I had a good time the last time I was there, and I wish just it wasn't such a damn long flight.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Next question is, congrats on your latest win, John. If you could pick any two arm wrestlers from any era to compete in a format of your choosing, who would they be?
Who would I pick to compete with or against?
Yeah,
Or
against.
I don't quite understand the question.
Yeah, it's like a super chat. They're asking who would you want to compete from any era if you could just choose.
Um, well, I always enjoyed, and because he was my own weight, and just he was the guy that I looked up to so long in my early years. Um, I would love to maybe rewind the clock on Johnny Walker and pull him if he was
Mhm.
10, 15 years younger again.
Mhm.
Even right now, I'd imagine. I think he's about 10 years older than me. I imagine he'd probably still be a handful to arm wrestle against.
Yeah.
Don't know where he's at or what he's doing, but another name that comes to mind. I mean, I'd love to just hook up and pull with kind of my early teacher, Dave Patton.
Oh
That
my God. Yeah.
he taught me so much in the first year or two that I started the sport, and it's kind of the approach I took and how I acted and how I, what I did and how I did it. He was a big part of that. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Then there are so many questions about Hermes because in the last few days, you and him got back and forth from some lives. You said you respect him and you would like to pull him. And today he got on John Engen Thursday live. He said his dream match would be to pull with you, John,
Uh,
and he said you might do it in like maybe an after pull or something. So they're asking
yeah.
when are you guys gonna pull against
Yeah,
each
I know
other?
he's gonna need to get injured or something before I would make. I think he's possibly out of my league and is never going to return to my league. I'd love to be and say, oh yeah, another year I'll be ready for you, Hermes. But um, yeah, I even
Mhm.
just air pulling with him afterwards a little bit, just hand to hand. I think to myself, there's no way, I have no chance. But yeah, maybe if we can, I don't know what we would have to do. We'd have to break a leg or something.
You
Hermes
can
take
stab him if you want.
it.
Let's stab him a
He's
couple of times
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
in the
stab him in the
forearm.
gut or I don't know. It's the only chance I'd have. He'd have to lose. He'd have to be maybe get down to 110 kilos or maybe even 10 kilos less than me, and then I would have a chance. So, but, but yeah, no, I would for sure do some fun exhibition type thing if he was gentle on me.
Okay, so John, what is your current top five, maybe, and also do you see yourself in the top 10 right now in the world?
No, no. There's too many guys that that scared the hell out of me just a couple years ago. That I thought. I mean, when Igor asked me to pull the PAL 95 and under kg top eight, I thought to myself, am I going to even be able to win a round? I mean, with Babayev and Garbayev and Petrenko and this kid that creamed me in Moldova. I mean, I know I was horribly out of shape, but that kid was so impressive. I don't Matayev or I can't even think what his name is, but I think he might be Ukrainian also.
Yeah. I just tried
We
to
get Ukrainian guy in Moldova?
Margarint, probably. Margarint, yeah? In top eight
Yeah,
version of Moldova. Yeah, Piotr Margarint,
yeah,
probably.
he's the one that beat Revez in the final match, I think.
Oh,
Revez. And
yes.
I think
I'm
and
not sure
standing
about his name.
in the line of that A group, I think he was probably one of the lightest kids, but he's massive form and just crushed me. So there's so many guys out there that even in my own weight class, I just think that I mean things have been so quiet in the last couple 3 years that we don't know obviously where they're at. So they've been kind of discounted as contenders and top guys just because of COVID and they've been inactive and kind of disappeared. But um, I think there's a potential of being or having even just you know me not making the top 10 in the 100 kilo class. If things get back to the norm of everybody arm wrestling super hard again. So um, yeah.
Mhm. Alex, there's a super chat for you. They're asking, do you think Corey can beat Hermes?
Honestly, like I said before, a lot of time that I think that Corey has a very, very big potential. Like now, he's already super strong. He will be stronger, and he definitely will be more technical. He just like now in goings by taking experience and table time. He will be more confident. He will be or like more creative during the fight because his hand is very strong. He just do something with his small weaknesses and just set in the way to make him possible to top rowers to pro him because he has a very big potential with that. And honestly, it can be very interesting match because I know Hermes now. He's very strong and he has a very good hand control and top roll. But it's also about the size of Corey's forearm and hand. He just can cover by higher position also.
Right.
And it will be you need to be like 20 or 30 or 40% stronger to do something because
Right.
I even remember like when I pull him this way just for side back, and Corey was resistance of Corey was very great, because
Mhm.
I pull actually with a lot of guys, and to compare to other guys, I think that Corey has already very high level of the power,
Right.
and he has like even bigger potential. So
Right.
yeah, I believe that yes, it can be
And
interesting match.
a big question is Hermes. I mean, Hermes is kind of goes with his patented signature high top roll move. I mean, nobody's really seen how he copes with someone that's able to shut that down. I shouldn't say that. You shut it down. Has it been within the last year or so? And I don't even know if I really can actually recall how that match went. But so yeah, how does he react, and what does he have after
Yeah.
that one move gets shut down? I'm not sure I've really seen him be tested, wrist to wrist inside in a hook. And
Mhm.
Corey might be the guy that's already able to do that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Okay, John, I wanted to ask you about what do you think about the current state of arm wrestling in America, but more specifically, so with all due respect, you're getting old, Todd Hutchins is getting old, Dave Shafee will get old, Michael is getting old, Devon Leverett is getting old. Let's take North America. In 5 years, 10 years, you guys are not going to be really youngsters anymore. So do
Right.
you see North America maybe fading out of the arm wrestling scene in the world? Will Europe super youngster studs like Morozov and Gasparini and Kurdecha and Sporongs will take over the world and America will be just out of it? What do you think?
No, because we still we've got guys. We got the Chance Shaw. We've got Derek Smith. We got Corey West. I mean, we've got some guys. I mean, they're not super phenom. 18-year-old youngsters. I mean, they're in their early 30s, but that's still young for arm wrestling. I mean, I don't think you hit your full stride until you're probably in your late 30s, 40s. So we got some guys that can definitely be contenders and match those guys. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know what it would take to really stoke the fire to get the young guys, started in the sport. I met a couple guys at this last weekend that were kids. That one in particular, and I can't remember his name. I should remember his name, but I don't. That was just like lightning, strong, fast. I mean,
Mhm.
so they're out there. It's just getting them interested. I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, other than the super matches, what else has really been going on to draw in the young crowd, the new up and comers, because they're not given the opportunities to be part of the super matches, and that's really kind of the only thing that's been going on lately. Can't actually even remember the last time there was an open tournament, but yeah, we need to get back to that, and just for the sake of getting the young guys excited and involved again.
Hmm. Yeah. John, about Levan, do you think he's actually like unbeatable? Is there a way to beat him? And if so, who do you think today might have the best chance to beat him?
Well, you go with it. The names everybody's going to say. Was it Sylvain, the one that beat Vitali recently? In I mean, he looks incredible. I mean, kind of the same build as Corey, just monster form, just big human being. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to stop Lavon. A ton of back pressure. I don't think you're going to ever break Lavon's at this point his hand back, and because of his size and the strength of his cupping. But maybe you can neutralize his side pressure with just a ton of straight back, knuckles high back pressure. Corey doesn't have that yet. He's got a lot of other things going for him, but if he could develop that load, that back pressure, along with his super strong hand and an aggressive side hit that's maybe a little stronger than it already is, then you got somebody that can possibly mess Lavon up a little bit, or at least take him out of position, make him work for it. But right now, Lavon is just he can control everything. He's got the size and the wrist, and he just puts you into his world, and you kind of just like a little bird tweet. You can't even if you could pull, you can't pull. I mean, you're lost. So
Yeah. Do you think he's the strongest arm wrestler of all time, like raw strength?
I
Able?
have no reason to believe that he probably isn't. Yeah, no, he probably is.
Wow. Okay. Another super chat, quite funny. Don, why afraid of pulling Hermes when he can hurt you, but up for a match with Kurdecha? Kurdecha beat Hermes.
I'm
Style
more
will be
friendly. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I would never, up until I watched your match with Corey, I had absolutely no confidence or no inkling of ever getting near you, Alex. but after watching Corey get you inside that one match, I thought to myself, no,
Yeah.
I might have the strength to be able to do that. So yeah, it's funny. So I become dangerous. You probably shouldn't come here, Alex, because if I practice with you, then I would build the confidence, and I would be armed with information like, okay, I think there's a spot that I could maybe do something. So, I mean,
but
if
it's
I
a good because I need to go to you, train with you to be better. It's impossible to if you train with somebody who level less, you never progress. And
right.
I'm like a freshman, want to train with the best, with a legend, with John Brzenk.
Yeah, no, I always feel like even after getting beat, I walk away with knowledge that and confidence of doing better the next time. So, if a future, what I need to do is actually pull with Hermes at some point in a practice where I could actually get my head squared away, or like, okay, and there's maybe a chance, but that takes the fun away from it. I mean, everybody wants to see the after pulling, and I'm like, oh man, if we all after pulled afterwards, who's gonna be excited to watch future matches? But I don't know.
Actually, I think, John, inside with Alex, you might do some troubles. You might give him some troubles.
Yeah, I feel like it might be close.
Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, you're still John Brzenk. So, John, about the upcoming event in August, East versus West 4, we have an amazing card. As always, Engen does such an incredible job at putting these matches together. It's like a dream coming true for every arm wrestling fan. So I would ask you, what are the matches that you most want to see? And maybe give some predictions about the top matches. For example, Gennady against Jerry, maybe Todd Hutchins against Evgeny, and so on.
Okay, Gennady against Jerry. Oh boy, Gennady looks so impressive against Dave Chafee in a hook. that I don't know if Jerry's going to be able to press through that, and if Jerry gets stopped, um, I don't know. It could go. It, all the matches with Jerry are exciting because he normally gets himself twisted in and jammed in there, and makes it difficult for the other person to do anything with him. So, but Gennadi's a very seasoned arm wrestler. He's surprised me the last few times I've watched him pull. He obviously does more than just get stronger. He definitely analyzes people and knows how to pull them, and his approach has been spot on with his technique. So I don't know if he's done his homework against Jerry. Gennadi's got to be the favorite, but um, yeah, Jerry can be a load if you let him get in his spot and let him
Mhm.
get behind his arm. So, but anyway, so what was the other match? What was the
So Todd Hutchins against Evgeny Prudnik.
oh,
Ooh.
it's yeah. I think Todd has improved so much since the last time they pulled in Moldova, where Prudnik just kind of mowed right through him. Uh, Prudnik can pull not only super strong in a hook, but he can also top roll really well outside. I, I so I just feel like his top roll ability coupled with his arm strength would probably be enough to put Todd in a really bad spot. But Todd has been pulling so freaking strong lately that I wouldn't be surprised if Todd's able to somewhat maintain his wrists and really just just cream him to the side. I mean, I don't think he'll finish him quickly, but I can see him getting in an awkward enough position where Prudnik could be hanging out too far away from his arm. So it should be super exciting. I mean, I would like to see. I like them both. So I mean, I can't really. I mean, I definitely would have to stick and root for Todd Hutchins, but I also like Prudnik as an arm wrestler.
Mhm. Have you pulled Prudnik in the past?
We've never hooked up. All the years that I hung out and did Zloty tour, back when I was going to the Zloty tour, I think he was in the 85 or 75 kilo
Hmm.
class, so he
Yeah,
was just a
yeah.
little guy. So, and I don't think we ever, as luck would have it, we just never even pulled in the overalls for whatever reason, which is kind of strange. But
Hmm. Yeah, if the stars align and you win against Kidrigali and he wins against Hutchins, I think it makes sense to have a John against Evgeny for
I
the
think,
unification belt
I
of who's the
yeah,
best.
without spoiling anything, I think that's the proposal for November. So if everything goes well and we both win, that would definitely be a match that I would be saying yes to and willing to do in Istanbul. If Todd Hutchins wins, then I'm gonna have to decline. I really don't feel like going all the way to Istanbul to pull Todd Hutchins, who's only an hour or two away from me. We both would be all jet lagged and wore out and have all kinds of excuses why we can't arm wrestle.
Mhm.
So might
Yeah.
as well keep it here in the United States.
Mhm. And what do you think about Dave Shafee against Artyom Morozov? Artyom is a youngster. Dave Shafee is a veteran. What's up?
Yeah, well, if he keeps getting better, Morozov, he looked like a different person. The East versus West first time I was there when I pulled Zolov, and the second time when he pulled Derek. So if he keeps growing like that, I mean, it might be a mismatch. So, but Dave Chafee is, yeah, well,
Yeah.
Dave Chafee. Dave Chafee's diesel strong, strong hand
Mhm.
control, great sweep. I mean, I don't think there's anybody as strong side to side. I mean, I think Dave's even stronger than Todd Hutchins in that respect. So,
Wow.
uh, yeah, but Dave is starting to kind of show a little bit of weakness in his endurance. I mean, obviously he's the last couple times people are taking notice, like, okay, this guy's crazy strong, but you know, maybe I can wear him out. Maybe after the third round, I can maybe get something on him. So
Hmm.
we'll see how that goes.
And do you think today's Dave is the same as like 2016, 17, 15, 18 Dave Shafee?
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. I mean, I don't speak with him very often, but I don't think he's ever been really injured. So I think his desire and his dedication is still there. So I have no reason to believe that he would be any less of strong arm wrestler than he was, 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm,
So.
mhm. Yeah, it just was a bit of controversial thing because when we saw him pull against Dennis Prime and he gave him incredible matches, like actually won against him and take the middle, which is nuts. Like the way he was competing with Saplenko was nuts. So people was like, saying theory and blah 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 blah. But
Well, Dennis, even though Dennis is one of the extreme, probably maybe one of the strongest arm wrestlers ever, he was easy to apply your full strength against. I mean, he was, he was a kind of a normal human being where he could, you could really apply what you brought to the table. Some of these other bigger heavyweights with the top rolls and just the size make it difficult for some of the other arm wrestlers, including Dave, to even just really put their full force in. So.
And what would you think about in hypothetical Denis Saplenko Prime against Lavon Prime match?
I don't know. Dennis had a great kind of awkward. It really wasn't ever a king's move because his bicep was so strong that he could do it standing straight up. But he had that great pronation, almost dead wrist, and applied just tremendous back pressure with that bicep. That might have gave Levan enough pressure on his hand and wrist that Levan wouldn't be able to pull him to his spot. But Levan has been so impressive lately with his cupping ability to be able to just take anybody where he wants to put them. So.
Yeah. And by the way, John, how much time we have still with you? Because I don't want to keep you if you have any.
You're way past your limit. I mean,
really?
An hour and 15 minutes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Then we will do the last super chat and we will wrap this up. It's hey Alex, I'm super happy to see that you started YouTube. When are you planning to pull Levan? When we want to see the two titans collide.
Oh, thank you so guys. Thank you so much that you watched us. It's so enjoyable. And like I said about Levan, that I respect his way so much that I understand that Levan did actually a great job to be Levan of this day. I remember the match when Levan pulled on the Europeans like 2012 or maybe 13 with one even Polish guy, Jan Żołczyński, in the category of 110. And year by year, Levan built his body, his mind, his technique, his everything. And it takes time. It takes time to be this kind of champion. So that's why I believe that every guy who now 3-5 years in the sport, and if he will be really patient with fire in their eyes and with hot heart and with discipline to training, can be the best version of himself. That's why I said, yeah, it's probably can be in the nearest future, but like I said, in respect for Levan did, I also need to work harder. I don't know how much years, maybe 1, maybe 2, but of course my goal is to be the best version of myself. And I hope I will be the best version of myself when Levan still be in the top. Like he don't be the boring of this and go away. He will be still in the Hermes and gold, and I will put him with my best shape.
John, thank you so much for dedicating to us your time. Sorry for keeping you longer than your
limit. It was my pleasure. Good luck with the YouTube, Alex. Are you going to do this on a regular basis, or what's your plans for the future with the podcast? Are we going to see, like Neil, you're going to have 110 podcasts here in a few months, surpass everybody sure, on a daily basis?
Yeah, I hope that every week should be some couple of videos and lives. Now I want to say thank you so much. For me, like I said, I'm so excited to speak with legend, my hero of arm wrestling, with the GOAT of arm wrestling.
It was an honor. I appreciate the invite, and am I one of your first guests? Is this the first episode or
one of the first few?
One of the first.
Okay, yeah. Very good.
We were supposed to have Travis last week, but he basically didn't show up.
Okay. Yes, he was done with us.
All right, guys. All right. Well, I'll take care, and anytime you want to speak again, give me a ring, and I will be happy to chat.
John,
of course. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, so just Alex, 1 second before quitting. We have a very big super chat from Z's guitar account. I just saw it now. Sorry if I couldn't read it to John, but we have to read it before, of course,
Of course.
live. And it says, "Greetings, gents. John, watching you pull and give your all for the pure love of the sport and not hype of the rankings is just awesome. Thank you for sticking around in the sport because I'm sure you think about quitting at all times." So maybe we can get that message to John for him. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for the support, guys. Alex, thank you so much for the live. It's amazing. Thank you that you bring such an incredible guests for me to interview and speak and moderate. It's actually a great opportunity to
Thank you,
collaborate.
Isa, to help me with development of my channel, and thank you everybody who watching us. I'm really excited about the process. I'm really happy to be here, to be in this sport. It's it's absolutely happiness when you do what you love. So when you like enjoy and when you like with us like a big family, it's even better. It's like something special. So thank you so much, guys, who support us, who watched us, and who love our wrestling.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Little spoiler, Thursday we will have Dave Shafee on the live, so stay definitely tuned for that because I have a lot of questions for these guys. Guys, stay strong, stay healthy, and see you next time. Thanks for the watching.
Stay strong.